Okay, man. So, since we're doing all Mean Gene movies this month, what do you think we should do for Weird Watches?
Well, I did have an idea, but I'm worried it's too dumb.
No, man, come on. I mean, I'm pretty sure anything you come up with will be great. So go ahead, lay it on me.
All right. Well, I was thinking we'd watch Mean Gene's final movie, Welcome to Mooseport, but in, chunks over the course of the month.
Kick your fucking ass!
Mike!
I want you off the show, you fucking prick!
Mike, I'm sorry.
No, don't just be sorry. Think for one fucking second. What the fuck are you doing? Are you professional or not?
Yes, I am.
Do I fucking walk around and...
Come on, Mike!
Don't shut me up, Vince!
I'm not shutting you up.
Am I gonna walk around and rip your fucking mic down in the middle of a podcast? And why would you be like, ah-da-da-da-da, with ideas like that? What the fuck is with you? What you fucking understand? You got any fucking idea about it's fucking stupid to watch Welcome to Mooseport? Give me an answer!
I was thinking about the podcast.
Oh, good for you! And how was it? I hope it was fucking good because it's useless now, isn't it? Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur. Vince, you got anything to say to this prick?
I didn't see it happen.
Well, somebody should be fucking watching and keeping an eye on him.
Fair enough.
It's the second time that he doesn't give a fuck about what's going on in this podcast, alright? Trying to do a show here. What the fuck is Matt thinking? What is he doing there? So you understand my mind is not in the show if he's doing that?
I absolutely apologize. I didn't think I was doing anything bad.
Stay up the fucking show, man, for fuck's sake. Alright, let's go again.
How about we just take 1 minute?
Listen, let's not take a fucking minute. Let's go again. And let's not have any more ideas from you. You're unbelievable. You're unfucking believable. Number of times you're thinking and fucking around in the background. I've never had a podcast host behave like this. You don't understand what it's like working with podcasters. And I'm telling you, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Because you wouldn't know that otherwise.
No, what it is I was thinking about the podcast and making sure that you...
I'm gonna kick your fucking ass, you... If you don't shut up for 1 second, alright? Do you want me to fucking trash your mic? Do you want me to fucking trash it? Why the fuck are you trashing my podcast? You do it one more fucking time, and I ain't walking on this podcast if you're still hired. I'm fucking serious. You're a nice guy. You're a nice guy, but that don't fucking cut it when you're bullshitting and fucking around.
Alright, I get it, okay?
Yeah. You know what? You might get it. He doesn't get it.
I know, I get it, okay?
Okay, you might. He does not get it.
I know, good adjustments, okay? Good adjustments. For real, honestly, it's just think for 5 seconds, okay?
No, I don't need any thinking. He needs to stop thinking. I ain't the one thinking. Let's get up and go again. Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally. Fucking ass. Buddy Shotz 120. Thanks for watching, everyone.
We're back.
Yeah, Gene Hackman month.
Mean Gene May.
Gene Hackman, this is the 4th week of the month.
Now that the month's winding down, do you have any regrets?
Yes.
What are they?
Well...
You're like everything.
I'm like... No. One regret. Which
what could it be?
We'll get into first. But before we get into that regret, if you guys like what we do, make sure to become a buddy and subscribe today and like and share. And thank you for watching through this hellish month ruined by one film.
Welcome to Mooseport makes me want to go to Newsport.
Fuck this. So, once again, it's time for the poll. Have you seen Quick and the Dead? No. 100%.
Oh, wow.
But I hadn't either.
I guess it's more of an obscure, on the obscure
it's
side.
It's a Sam Raimi deal, so it's like Sam Raimi has like a cult following, or like you haven't really seen his movies. And then I asked, have we gone crazy watching Mooseport all month? We got a 50-50 on that. So
Sounds about right.
half our listeners/watchers think yes, and half think no. So if you're following along, this is the 106 to 128.
This is
fucking stupid, dude.
I don't even remember what happened. They had a golf match.
They had a golf match,
was thrilling.
and they found out that like Gene Hackman actually sucks at golf, and his whole career it's been like the CIA that have been like making it so that he is good by like throwing the balls out of the woods and stuff. Like
this is something out of like Looney Tunes.
Yeah, it's like a lucky bounce kind of shit. And
he's like, wait for the bounce,
and it just never happens. It's like, what? Gene is playing how I play. It was I in.
I thought you were gonna take another pass at your notes. What? That doesn't even make any sense.
Okay, so I think what I'm saying here is like he's playing how I play when I play golf.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know why I didn't just put that instead of Gene is playing how I play. It was in. What? I'm like, when I play golf, I'm like, it was in!
The ball wasn't in the hole.
Yeah. There was some funny stuff here, I kind of thought, because it was when Gene got pissed off and he threw his club at a tree. It's like, okay. But then they got more drunk shit, which you actually sent me a text about that. You were like, you're going to love it because there's more
You're in for a treat.
That was my last note. I honestly didn't put more notes.
Yeah, I thought it was funny when he threw Ray Romano's ball away. I wish he would have like thrown it.
That was actually kind of, because he's like, okay, well, even though, you're so much better than me at this and you have the local advantage, I get one throw. And he's like, okay. And he's like, he throws Ray Romano's ball, and he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, I didn't say I had to throw which ball it was. And he threw his ball into, like, the woods. I was like, man, he's fucking genius. Oh.
He puts the gene in genius.
That's true. The Mean genius.
Yep, Mooseport still sucks. Hasn't got any better.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, it won't.
These will be, like, our shortest episodes ever because literally we're just skipping Weird Watches essentially each week, just doing the bare minimum to be like... Get us the fuck
I'm proud
out
that
of
you're
this.
actually going through this and like not stopping.
You're proud of
I
me.
am.
I don't.
Only a true buddy would go through this torture
Well.
for no reason.
That's true. I guess there won't be anything on my fucking tombstone that says I watched this. Like anyone's gonna give a shit. I deserve to get my tombstone pissed on after doing this. So, are you ready to move on?
Yeah, the main event, The Quick and the Dead.
Yeah, so feature presentation, Quick and the Dead, for people that haven't heard of, is a 1995 American like Western directed by Sam Raimi. And we got a stacked cast here. We got Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, Russell Crowe, Leonardo DiCaprio, and then we got Lance Hendrickson, Keith David, and Tobin Bell.
Yeah.
Some
himself.
horror icons in there. Kind of surprised that they didn't have Tony Todd in this too, because I was just
yeah, he would have been great.
Seriously. And someone who isn't in this is longtime collaborator Bruce Campbell. He was, yeah.
Did you hear the story about?
I don't know any story. I just saw in the IMDb credits it was like he's credited as like a shemp at a wedding that got cut out or something. And
Yeah, he tells
what?
a story where he filmed a scene, and basically it was him getting beat up in a bar.
Oh, that's what it was about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like it was, Sam was like really rough on him, and like had guys
And it
like
just
really
never made it into the
and he
movie.
thinks it was all like a practical joke on
Yeah.
him, like he was never actually going to put it in the movie.
Yeah.
He just wanted to
Beat his ass.
beat Bruce Campbell,
Because that's when he was doing Briscoe County Jr. or whatever, I think he said.
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't know that that's what this was about.
I hope that's not true, but I mean it's funny either way. But I really wish Bruce Campbell would have been in this. He would have been great.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks because you get to see some people that don't get as much, like, higher time, like Lance Hendrickson and, like, Keith David alongside, like, Gene Hackman and stuff. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, that these people get to actually be in these scenes with, because they're awesome. They're just as good.
Yeah, and now I regret when we talked to Lance Hendrickson that I didn't ask him like what it was like to do a scene with Gene Hackman.
I didn't even know he was fucking in this film. I didn't even know this film.
I forgot.
Till...
So I guess I saw this movie when it came out on VHS. Like we rented it back in the day, and that's kind of a funny story because like I watched it with my dad and my sister.
He beat you up and then cut you out of the movie.
And I always remember like my dad didn't like it very much, and he was like, it was so unrealistic. Like, a woman would never walk around with her shirt unbuttoned in the Old West. And I was like, that's true, but I don't think
that was the part that was unrealistic. Not the time that
I don't think they were going for realism.
the
in this
Native
movie.
American got shot like 100 times and was fine. That's hilarious.
I thought that was a funny
He's like,
criticism.
but I give it like a thumbs up because Tim Allen wasn't in it. Fuck that asshole.
He was just a huge history buff, so like, if a detail was like, this is not a historically accurate movie, obviously, but
Thank God.
it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a fun western.
Depending, I mean, we'll have to watch like something like that one of these days for the podcast. Like, I'm sure, I think on the list at one point is Gettysburg, and I've heard that's a great movie, but it's kind of long, I think.
4 hours of fun.
Ooh.
We saw that in theaters, dude, and that one had an
Holy
intermission.
crap. Damn. They're like, let's all go to the lobby. So dude grunting in the beginning, he's like fucking trying to dig up all this crap. Got a handcuffed man swearing revenge. So old man Lance Hendrickson, oh hell yeah, looking greasy. So
He's looking awesome, dude.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Why not? Like,
He looks nasty. He's like a child molester in this film.
What?
He looks so gross.
His costume is sweet because it's all like black leather and it's got like aces, like ace of spades all over it.
Well, he's
cool.
essentially fucking English Bob in this film. He's like a lying piece of shit.
But always good to see him pop up. Mm-hmm. And as I told him, he always makes everything better that he's in.
He's like, fuck you, that movie sucked. I'm like, what? He's like, I was the worst. Yeah, like, he's great. I just think his character is gross in this film. But not as gross as some other characters in this film. Mysterious man in old haunted house. So, like, this was before you find out who... Like, Gene Hackman lives in this really nice house, but, like, in the beginning of the film, there's, like, a spyglass that's, like, looking out, and you're like, you know, who the fuck lives there?
So the plot of this movie is very simple. In the Wild West, there's a gunfighter, like, shootout tournament. And last man standing wins a prize. And that's pretty much...
This is like the thing, essentially, or like Evil Dead as a Western, because these people are trapped in a town. They're not, like, actually trapped, but, like, they are trapped. They're trapped by, like, the tournament. They can leave when they want, I guess, but, like, for all intents and purposes, it's like there will be only one person left alive at the end. And it's very, like, horror movie to a degree-esque, where it's like, you know that's going to happen. But it's played more for like action and like sometimes fun and stuff, and comedy. Obviously, I was never like scared or anything. I'm like, oh.
So, what'd you think of your boy Sam Raimi directing a weird
I was
Western
like,
like this?
he was in the fucking film. Another person that wasn't in it, as far as I know, was Ted Raimi. Was he?
No, should have been.
Was shocking. Like, okay, what the hell's going on here, Sam?
You can definitely tell it's a Sam Raimi.
Yes,
film,
there's
his
parts
style.
where it's like Evil Dead straight up, where it's just zoom ins and ridiculous, like the stuff like that, like the zoom ins and stuff, which they also use for like Dark Man that we already reviewed.
There's also like a really cool montage of like guns.
Yes, yeah.
That are being extremely close up photographed, and it looks really cool.
And people are like shooting, and there's other stuff.
That's probably my favorite thing about this movie is it's very stylistic.
Mm-hmm.
Between that and a really good cast.
So Scar, we got another person that's, I guess, kind of, we didn't mention in the beginning. He's kind of like a side character, but some dude called Scar, played by Mark Boone. I think he's
From
junior.
Vampires.
Yeah, I think he's best known for being in Sons of Anarchy. But every kill he inflicts, he cuts himself. Like, I'm sure they got that from Batman. There's like a fucking guy in that comic that like cuts himself every time he kills somebody. So
Nice.
He says, I got 35 years. They let me out in 3 days. AKA he fucking escaped from prison. Which seems to be like a regular thing because he is wearing like the prisoner uniform. He just keeps like escaping to this town over and over again. This town is like a lawless town where there's like essentially the only law is Gene Hackman's law of like he keeps everyone in line by like
This is my
having
town.
this tournament and stuff, and they kill each other instead of trying to kill him and take his stuff. Because like when somebody gets killed, they like strip the person's body of everything. Because it's like these people are essentially, it's like Roman times and stuff. People are placated by like games, like the gladiator games and stuff, instead of looking and being like, dude, our lives are miserable. So
You want to play
Pretty
your
cool.
gladiator games?
Next movie's gonna have big rings and big tames. So Keith David, another awesome actor. I think this is the most stacked out of any of the Mean Gene movies we watched so far. It's
definitely.
Holy shit.
I mean, it's got 4 Oscar winners, I think, or nominees: Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, Leo, and Russell Crowe.
Lee. Oh!
Leo and Russell Crowe, but this is before they blew up.
Yeah.
Right before they became super popular.
And this is there's a bunch of other people in this film that should have awards. Like Keith David should definitely have awards.
Dude.
Lance Henriksen for sure.
He had the best line in the movie when they're like, he's like, "What's your name?" "Cantrell." "How do you spell that?" And then he lights his pipe and puffs on it for forever, and then he's like, "Correctly."
Yeah.
He milked that line so hard.
So this is where they start the quick draw competition. 123,000 and Wells Fargo sponsor. That was kind of weird that Wells Fargo sponsored a tournament for people to kill each other, but why not? Gene Hackman enters. Well, I guess it wasn't to kill each other because it starts off as just the person standing wins, but towards the end, Gene Hackman's like, "I'm changing this shit to you have to. The winner has to be alive. The winner has to be dead." It's like, what? The guy on the ground's like, "Mark." Gene Hackman enters in slow-mo. Another cool entrance.
Did you like Gene in this movie?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of plays, whenever he plays a bastard, he kind of plays the same bastardly role.
It's definitely mean. Again.
Russell Crowe he enters the picture being fucking rolled in like a 1-pound rigatoni. And he says, "We beat the hell out of him." I thought that was pretty funny. Gene's gonna hang the Reverend Russell. So he gets hung, and they put him on a chair, and he starts shooting the legs out from the chair. He's like, "You in or out?" And he says, "Go to hell." And then they Sharon Stone shoots the rope. They're "Sign me up." It's
a cool scene.
Yeah. Actually, I guess she says "Sign me up," and he's like, "Women can't be in." He's like, "They can be in. It's just they can't shoot for shit." And then he she shoots the rope, and then that's when he's just like, "Put them both in." It's pretty cool.
What do you think of Sharon Stone as basically the lead?
She was okay in this. I don't have anything against her. I think it was just maybe her character was just kind of very robotic.
Well, I think there's not these characters are all more caricatures. It's
right, but
it's not very deep.
Right, but I mean everyone else's character was at least more interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, she's the straight man basically, or straight woman.
I've never really seen her in anything else, so I can't really compare her to anything.
What about Total Recall? Arnold's wife.
Yeah, she wasn't really anything in that either. She was just kind of
damn, dude.
Yeah. At least from what I remember.
I'm a huge Sharon Stone fan. I think she's awesome. I was thinking...
I know she gets a lot of praise, but I honestly haven't really seen her in anything.
This is the same year she was nominated for an Oscar for Casino, which is kind of a tough watch, but she's really good in that.
I've seen that movie before, but it's been so long, so I don't even remember that she was in it.
It's just scene after scene of her screaming and Robert De Niro, those guys screaming at each other. But when I was watching this, I was thinking about...
Does she have a scene where she uncrosses her legs in a movie?
That's Basic Instinct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
It's give her an Oscar.
But I was thinking this came out the same year as Cutthroat Island, and I thought Sharon Stone would have been great as Morgana. Could have been a better movie with her in it.
Did we watch that film? We did. I think I blocked it out. That's the one with Gina Davis, right?
Yeah.
God, dude, that
she was
movie
horrible.
Sucked.
It was bad.
Yeah, put Sharon Stone in it just so she can fucking suck in that movie, too. That would be great.
Damn, dude, shots fired.
No, I'm just saying.
Mike hates Sharon Stone.
I just hate that movie, and she wouldn't have done anything in it, because that movie... Gina Davis is fine in Beetlejuice and everything else, but everybody else in that movie got fucked because that movie sucked. You could put anybody in that movie and it would be better, sadly. Just don't make the movie. I just need to watch more Sharon Stone films, I guess.
Yeah.
So kids are beating Preacher, say, "I hate you." I say, "Why?" They just start beating him. Dude from earlier challenges her. So he gets loose and he that she handcuffed for some random reason. And he shows up and, challenge her. Ladies say Lance is hot. Lance is hot. Evil Dead zoom ins before Leo shoots. Yeah, you called this earlier about the whole definitely has the style.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Campbell should have been in this as his character, Briscoe County Jr.
Dude, great idea.
Hey, I'm full of them.
Did you notice who the Undertaker was in this movie?
Mark Calloway? That's the Undertaker's real name. Sorry. No, who was it?
It's a actor named Roberts Blossom,
Okay.
and I know him. He's like the scary old dude in Home Alone.
Oh, okay. I thought he looked familiar, but
Yeah.
I was like, where have I seen... At first I thought he was like, is this like Blue from like old school? But it's like, dude, there's no way it was this Austin Powers 3 where like the old dude's like lives forever. Like,
He's like, yeah.
yeah.
But that he's been in tons of movies, and but I always think of Home Alone. How
Yeah,
scared
like,
I was of him as a
Dude,
kid.
when you were talking about like the people on black did we talk about this? People on black backgrounds lit very noir Darkman style.
Mm-mm.
That was another cool scene where like they were just showing everybody. They were literally like just
silhouetted
in black.
Yeah.
like it was like the background behind them was all black. It was like, holy shit, this is.
Movie looks awesome.
Yeah.
I agree. It's a lot of cool movie touches.
I thought the scene with Gene and Leo was pretty great. I mean, anybody watching this is probably like, man, this Leonardo. I mean, everybody in this film, you're probably like, man, these people are going to be big if they're not already big by now.
Yeah, I think Leo's pretty good in this. I did like the touch where
His
like
end scene is very like sad,
Yeah.
and touching.
I liked how all the ladies of the town like love Leonardo.
Yeah,
It's like,
'cause
well,
he's
just like in
like-
real
yeah.
life, like
He's a young boy.
girls
Yeah.
who are our age, like Leo was
I think
the guy.
that's why Titanic got such a hateful moniker, is because it was like the twilight of its time, as far as like. So Russell Crowe doing some fancy gunplay, like he's a preacher and he's reformed, but like when they give him a gun, he starts doing all kinds of fucking like
That blew me
revolver,
away because like
ocelot shit.
it's a shot of like the hands,
Yeah.
so you're like, oh, this is some stunt dude.
But then
like,
they
doing
zoom out and it's
No,
actually
it's
him.
him, and I
yeah,
was
and
like,
you're like,
whoa.
oh, yeah, it was pretty ridiculous.
That was great. Like props to Russell Crowe. That was
For
awesome.
like, yeah, like, he should have been like fucking stepping out of the shadows, like, and I'm Javert, and I'm like, have you ever seen that? Les Mis, where he plays fucking,
I
and
knew he
it's
was the dude in that.
and it's. Some people say it's like horrible, like his singing. I don't think it's horrible, but like it's interesting.
Mr. Unhinged himself. See our previous episode.
Unhinged. I still can't believe we watched that film.
I can't believe the trailer for that. Remember? He was like
He's
Russell
like,
Crowe
yeah.
as his character in the trailer. I'm like, what?
Well, he's like laughing, like he's also like breaking character too. He's like,
That's awesome.
I'm like, what? Kid collecting horse shit to throw at preacher. So
Good stuff.
whole town hating preacher. Don't know why. They just hated him. They were like, fuck this man of the god. Or man of the god. Man of the god. Sees everything in slow-mo. Preacher shoots to injure, not kill. And then some blind kid smiles. So I like that character. He's kind of like a reoccurring character in this. He's like this blind kid that like shines shoes and does other stuff. But like, he's essentially like, yeah, some kid that, I don't know what happened, but he's just blind.
I have a note that says Lance dances. Does he dance in this? I
There's a part where when he gets called out for being a
Oh, that's right.
bullshit
Yeah, Gene makes
greasy
him dance.
fuck,
He's like,
yeah.
dance.
He essentially English Bobs him.
Yeah.
Like, essentially, like, this character is English Bob for this movie. It's like, okay. Because he just gets fucking his ass shown out in front of the entire town before they blow him away. I'm like, Jesus! The way he dies, he's like,
He talked a big game,
Yeah.
and then he went out like a...
lame. Old man hitting on little girl. Yeah, this was
He had it.
fucking gross. That's the other character. English Bob style over here. Gene once again humiliating a liar in the West. Lance is fucked. Lance,
He had a cowardly soul.
He did on account of it. Lance gets stripped. This was funny because in what's it called? The other movie, English Bob is like, I'm fucking, I was there and I did this and I did that. And the exact same fucking thing happens here. Gene's like, I was there.
Yeah.
And that's when Lance Hendricks, like, shits his pants. Because he's like, oh, shit. I've been lying this whole time. And, you're...
He's a no-good son of a bitch and a liar.
Yeah. He fucking shits his pants and gets killed on his greasy soul. It's just like his hair. It's like, come on. So saw himself gonna shoot her up, but saw himself gonna shoot her up. Don't know what that means. She wins and kisses the kid. Oh, okay. That's okay. Russell Crowe tips over the water he wanted for no reason. He's like trying to get this water, and then when he like
he had a finger on
to
it,
get
dude.
it out, and then for no reason he's like bats it away. Gene Hackman's dad blew his own head off Russian roulette style with Fam.
Always fun.
Yeah, that's why he said he's never afraid, because when he was young, his dad sat his whole family down and was like, the world is fucked, you know, and then he's like,
Play
okay,
a family game of Russian
yeah,
roulette?
he put a gun to everybody's head, and then the last bullet went into his own head. I was just like, Jesus, dude. Like, as soon as the rain stops, I'm going to make an example of you. And Keith David starts laughing. And he says, I was planning on killing you anyway, Keith David says, and they both start laughing. So Gene Hackman says, after he kills Keith David, sadly, he says, I'm confused. All I hear from you spineless cowards is how poor you are, how you can't afford my taxes, my protection, yet somehow you managed to find the money to hire a professional gunfighter to come and kill me. Where's all that money coming from? What am I to think? If you got so much to spare, I'm just going to have to start taking more out of you, because you clearly haven't caught the message. This is my town. If you live to see the dawn, it's because I allow it. I'm in charge of everything. I decide who lives or dies. Your gunfighter's dead. Old news. I was like, another
awesome.
Great Gene Hackman line reading.
Yep. Great scene.
Cool shot behind Keith David as you see Gene through a hole in his head. That was awesome. And very Sam Raimi gross.
Very.
But it wasn't like as gross as it could have been, because it was literally like it happens and then you don't really see any like blood or anything after
No,
that.
it's like
So,
Looney Tunes.
yes,
almost.
but it was like, it was gross, but it wasn't like, you know, Evil Dead viscera kind of stuff. So, yeah.
I really like the dinner scene between
Yes.
Sharon Stone and Gene Hackman where they almost kill each other.
Well, it's also like she thinks that he pulls a gun or something first, or like, but it's just his little like matchstick holder or whatever it was. Kid kills Scar. Afterwards, the actor Mark Boone Jr. breathes.
Up. You called him out.
I did.
Put it on IMDb Goof.
He breathed on account of the dry boat. Everyone inside hearing old dude raping girl. That was fucking horrendous. And then like he's like, or she's like, after you hear that, like Sharon Stone's like, I'm challenging your ass right now. And they go out, and, like, she just fucking blows him away and stuff. And then he comes back after she like lets him live, and then she like finishes his ass. It was like, and like the bartender's like, thank you, like for fucking killing that guy essentially, because he was like a piece of shit.
Did you notice who the bartender was?
He seemed familiar, but I don't know.
Pat Hingle, Commissioner Gordon from Batman.
Nice. He's him, you know. Commissioner Gordon's always standing out for what's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is when she's like, I'm fucking out of here. Like, you know, screw this, I'm leaving town or whatever, because this ain't worth it, because she killed somebody for the first time, and she's like, can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So she rides off. And then Russell Crowe versus like the Native American dude that's like been shot a million times.
He can't be killed by bullets.
So Crowe damns the Lord as a preacher, and the Native American has supernatural powers because he gets shot like and fucking gets back up. And then he's like needs another bullet, and he's like shit. Fucking he only gave him one bullet, and he finally gets another bullet and like blows the dude away. And then Gene Hackman takes his collar off, and he's like, you've been shown for who you really are. So then we got a flashback to why she's like going after Gene Hackman. It's like he was there when like her Marshall dad was killed. He still looks the same.
They should have put like a little beanie
Austin
on him.
Powers 3 style. But they string up her father, who was played, who was a marshal, played by Gary Sinise, probably known best as Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump, I would say.
Yeah.
I know he was in a bunch of other stuff too, but
Not reindeer games.
I want to play your reindeer games. So we got 4 main people left. Gene versus Leo. So like in this movie, he's it's like father versus son, and then Russell versus Sharon. So, Preacher versus Revenge.
Car versus train.
Yeah. And then we got a fast slap going on here. He slaps her. So Leo facing Gene. He doesn't want to fight his son. I thought that was kind of sad, but he's also kind of like, there's a bunch of Evil Dead zooms. Leo's like, damn, that was fast, and you're like, holy shit, he won, and then it's like zooms out, and it's like he got shot.
Yeah.
And Gene Hackman only got like kind of like clipped. I
Got
guess.
winged, zinged.
Yeah, but Leo says, I don't want to die, and he's like crying. It's like, and he's like reaching out for Gene, and like he never like touches him or anything, and he dies, and he says, it was never proved he was my son, you know, it was like he was a farmer kind of thing. And it's like this whole time he's been trying to like prove, I guess, to everybody, like, I'm his son, I'm taking over, because, you know, and you can kind of tell that like on some part, like Gene Hackman either knows or he like acknowledges him as his son, but like in this moment he doesn't, because there's earlier in the film he's like, it'll be your time someday, and he doesn't want him to enter and die, but like if it comes down to him or his son, he's going to kill him because he's a cowardly soul. Actually, he's not a cowardly soul. He's a bastardly soul. But I thought that was pretty touching.
Yeah.
So then they're going to have, like, some... she's like... what was it? Freaking... Because Russell Crowe has to fight, like, Sharon Stone. And they do, like, a thing where, like, she gets fucking, like, fake killed, right? I think that's what it was. Yeah. I'm trying to think, because I got this mixed up when I'm thinking back on people being shot, and it's like a fake shot thing with Back to the Future 3, where, like, Michael J. Fox pretends to be killed. I'm like, was Michael J. Fox killed in this movie? I don't remember. But then they have this plan where, like, when it's just down to a couple people or whatever, like they blow up the town, and then Russell Crowe kills like these 4 fucking guards with just like pistols and shit. He like Lee Marvin's it.
Dude, this was so awesome.
Yeah.
The ending was sweet. Like
Yeah.
the final shootout, it was badass.
Yeah, I thought that was.
But there was a point where Gene shoots someone in the back, and I was like,
yeah,
Popeye Doyle's back. He loves shooting people in the back.
So we got a flashback here, and I was cracking up. It wasn't supposed to be funny, but it was like this whole time you think that like they hung the fuck out of like her dad, but like they give her a chance, and they're like, you have like 3 shots, and if you can like shoot the rope and free him, that's fine. We'll just leave. Mm-hmm. And the first shot she has, she fucking shoots him in the head, and I just started cracking up.
It was pretty dark, though.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I was like, are you kidding me with this? So then we get down to the final showdown here, which Jean should be killing her for fucking killing her own dad.
Yeah, that's a crime. She committed murder.
Put her in jail, dude. So at 1 hour and 40 minutes and 4 seconds, we got the showdown, and the funniest thing ever, Gene gets shot through his eye, and as he screams, he like flips back. He's like, oh, it's like fucking Broken Arrows
It was
style.
so awesome.
I was cracking up.
He gets super killed. I'm like,
Yeah.
who shot him? Like Steven Seagal?
Yeah,
Like,
well, he got shot with like a fucking explosive because it makes him go backwards, and like that's not how bullets
like
work.
does a triple
he does
Lindy.
like a flip. I was like,
That was so awesome. I was cracking
yeah,
up
it was
too.
hilarious. It's like, this is so fucking stupid. I was like, that wasn't the part your dad was like, this is historically accurate. He's like, oh. And then at the end, she like gives her dad's marshal badge to Russell Crowe, and gives it to him and says, "Laws come back to town," and
He is the law.
yeah, he has become the sheriff, which is cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, laws come back to Mooseport.
I wish.
In a lawless age, people give a shit. But yeah, we got 2 funny things back to back. Good stuff.
Yeah.
That's how to end a movie.
So what's your final thoughts on Quick and the Dead?
I thought it was pretty good. It's like it's not really anything, I guess, that has any like obviously like deep kind of stuff to it.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch, but it's also not. I don't think, at least for me, it's not as rewatchable as something like an Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2
yeah.
or Army of Darkness, but it's also not like a bad movie at all. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was highly entertaining from
Yeah.
start to finish. The cast is great.
Mm-hmm.
My only criticism really is it's just such a simplistic story. There's like not much meat on the bones here. It's like kind of repetitive. And,
Yeah.
But I mean that's a very minor criticism because it's all about style, and this movie's style is
There's
sweet.
no substance to this movie, so fucking
Very
don't
little
watch
substance.
it. Fuck it.
There's some
That's
substance.
what Matt's saying. It's just hell on wheels. Yeah,
I'm
no.
sorry it has your least favorite actress. Sharon Stone.
Well, you know, what can you do with a pile of crap?
Jesus.
I'm just kidding. No, I like the movie a lot.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty great. I agree with you. Like, really, the only thing driving this film is a paper thin revenge plot, which at the end it
So predictable.
really doesn't make sense because she's the one that killed her fucking dad. But I guess
It's not really her fault.
yeah, the bullet that she fired into her own dad's head was someone else's.
He was gonna be
fault.
hung.
Yeah, well, guess what? She killed him. So she made Gene Hackman like not the villain. She's the villain. No, I understand. It's like obviously she wasn't supposed to be put into that position, but you know what's funny is if they had done this a different way, they could have actually shown that like she was born like a great marksman and stuff like that, and actually could have been her origin story that she she's
In
cursed,
most movies, it would be
she's cursed not to miss.
right. Well, that could be interesting. But I would think like she just misses, so she wasn't good enough of a marksman to
That's what
save
I
her
was
dad.
thinking,
So,
yeah.
but instead, no, she just blows him away on the first. Like,
That's why I was laughing because it was so.
she
funny.
rolled a -20 years.
It went to the other spectrum. She was so good a marksman that she was trying to aim to kill the fuck out of her dad.
I'm gonna go 8.95. That's my final score.
Cool. Hell yeah, dude. It's good stuff. I'll probably give it like a 7.95. It's good, but it's probably not a film I'll watch again anytime soon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. All right, we nailed it.
Whew. We got through another week of Mooseport. Speaking of which, next week will be my greatest fucking triumph because it'll be the end of fucking Mooseport. The finale.
We're free.
Yeah. And we get to chronicle the life and times of Superman. In the next week, the Christopher Reeve Superman mini.
Superman, you will believe a moose can port.
You will believe a moose can fly in the first fucking 20 minutes or 22 minutes. I was like... Oh, I guess, should we go over... Do we even give a fuck to do any of these fucking predictions at this point for Mooseport? Like,
No, I don't even want to think
we
about
were
it.
doing predictions and then we just kind of gave up.
I guess my prediction is still from last time. I'll stick with it, where the vote comes down to one final vote, and it's the
Yeah.
girlfriend, and she chooses love, which she loves Ray Romano for some reason.
I would, in any other situation for a comedy, I would predict laughter, but I would not predict laughter. That's something that you would see on a poster. I bet that was probably a tagline they, threw around for this.
I predict watching this stone-faced on Monday morning to get it out of the way.
I might watch it tonight just to get this shit out.
Yeah.
I'll watch it while I'm editing this episode. I'll be like, sleep with one eye open. I like to apologize because this has been weighing on me for a while. Probably about a month since I went off on that rant about, you picking Mooseport. And, I don't think that anything bad can come of this. I'm sure of it. And I just want you to know that, we're buddies.
Yeah, well, thanks for apologizing. That was super over the top.
I know.
Like you went off for 4 minutes.
I can't believe it.
That was crazy.
But like I said, I'm sure it was totally unwarranted and nothing bad will happen from finishing the Mooseport in the finale for next week.
I agree.
Well,
Bye.
fine. For one, okay, now it's too fast. Holy shit, dude! It's like, I'm like,
Why would I do that? All right, let me try one more time.
A podcast, then what the fuck are you? La da 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 da. Damn it, it's going too fast now.
Whoa. Shit. All right.
I absolutely apologize. I'm sorry. I did not mean anything by it.
I did not mean anything by it.
Yeah, that was good.
Like I always say, put a fox in the hen house, you'll have chicken for dinner every time. What?
Yeah, I was like,
Pizza's on a bagel, you can have breakfast anytime.
yeah, when he said that, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, what, the fox is gonna fucking make you a chicken dinner? Like, what?
Let's not take a minute. Let's fucking go again.
That was horrible.
Let's go again.
Okay. We're both like,
Are you ready?
like this.
Hold our hands like good little boys.
I'm like, now I lay me down to sleep. Like, Jesus! That prayer, it's like if I die in my sleep, take my soul. Like,
You could take my soul and keep it.
yeah. You're a nice guy. You're a nice guy, you know, but me and you professionally, we're fucking through, and this is bullshit. No, I don't need... Wait, what? I don't need any more thinking? I don't need any fucking thinking.
Because he says walking, but
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense.
I don't need to fucking think. I'm like, how dare you try to make the podcast better? Fuck you.
Like, this goes out to you. Fuck you, Sharon Stone. What do you think you're doing crossing your legs? It's like, Jesus.
Unnecessary beaver shot. Remember that from Loaded Weapon?
Yeah, where it's like it turns around and it's just a beaver like with a cigarette.
Okay. No, I don't need any thinking. He needs to stop thinking. I ain't the one thinking. I ain't the one thinking, let's get up and go again. Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally. Fucking ass.
Nailed it.